Hello, hello, and
Hello.
welcome to the Media Kit Blueprint, Stephanie.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I'm so ready for this. I'm so ready to share all of this great knowledge that we both have for all of you to get incredible media kits and visuals and share it and get those brand deals and get all of the things that come with an incredible media kit. Stephanie.
I'm bringing that brand deal energy into the room. Let's go.
Let's do this. Where's everyone tuning in from? Thank you so much for signing up. You're in for an incredible treat. So let's see what we have here. Oh, we have Stephanie in the chat.
I
Hello.
want to be there for sure.
Hello, Dr. T. And hello, Mr. Moderator. You're going to be hearing, reading a lot from him in the chat because he is our moderator on this chat today. Hello, Brandy. George, there's no trivia today, but hello, Darren, hello, Matt, hello, and Stephanie. Here we go, saying hello to some peeps.
I know. I see Miss Valerie Pinkston over there. Hello, friends. Nice to see you. You guys, are you excited as much as Anna and I are? Because we have been working on this and we're like, how do we put all of our years of knowledge into a 2-hour workshop? And we're like, okay, well, we're going to go through it. We're going to walk you through the whole entire process. And I'm excited for all of you because, Anna and I, we both come from different sides of the coin when it comes to media kits and brand deals and all that stuff. So you're going to get a lot of not only just the templates, but the psychology behind it. So I do welcome you to ask your questions because your thoughts become your words and your words become actions, and an incomplete thought becomes an incomplete action. So ask your questions. We want to encourage you because, as always, you're a part of Ecamm fam, and we're always here to support you.
Yes, and remember to follow those questions with a Q and a column so we can find them here for you. And Stephanie, what can we expect today? What from the workshop? Let's share with them what we are going to be covering and how the workshop is going to go.
Oh no, we're going to be covering all the things. Well, first off, first and foremost, for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Stephanie Garcia. I'm a live video strategist. I'm known for helping our clients go from unknown to unfreaking forgettable by leveraging video. And we do that by teaching them brain hacks on how to captivate an audience from beginning, middle, and end. So, as far as what you're going to learn today, I'm going to show you all of these years of experience that I've learned as an ad agency veteran. When I say that, I spent the last 15 years working on the agency side, working with creators, looking at influencers and media kits. And on the flip side of that, when I left the ad agency world, I became a creator myself, thanks to, of course, Ecamm. And once that started to blow up, there are media kits that I used that I saw was working really well in the industry. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. Now, Anna. Anna is going to show you the magic that happens behind the media kits, the headshots, and all the things. That way you can bring out the best in you. So, Anna, take it away, my friend. You want to introduce them to you as well?
Yes. Yes. So, everyone, I am a headshots photographer, a video producer, and an educator. And I have 16 years of experience to share with you. I've helped hundreds of entrepreneurs and organizations bring their marketing visuals to life. And some of the projects that I have worked on includes personal branding headshots for entrepreneurs, media kits, and speaker bios. So I've also helped larger organizations with their visuals and their marketing needs. So bringing it all in as a storytelling. And this is what your media kit is. It shares the story of you, what you have done, and the possibilities that you can have with that potential sponsor or that potential client. So I am so excited to share all of that with you, Stephanie.
I love it. Yeah. And P.S. by the way, we did have a poll at the very beginning of the workshop where we asked the question, do you have a media kit? And I know when I answered it, I think it was like this much had media kits. And then everyone was like, no. So having said that, you're really in a good spot because your media kit is often your first handshake with a potential client, whether that's an event organizer, a brand, or even a media outlet, right? It showcases your credibility, your professionalism, and most of all, your personality, right? So what makes you different from that sea of sameness? So think of it as your highlight reel. Okay, who you are, what you've done. And so when Anna and I was like, wait, you've been doing this for 16 years? I've been doing this for 15 years, right? Sometimes it gets a little tricky because you're like, okay, how much should I put in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets tricky, but that is what we're going to go over today, because not all media kits are going to look the same. Even with you, for example, let's take me as an example. I am a photographer, a video producer, and an educator. So under my brand, I have three verticals, and so some of my clients might not want to see my photography work. They might just want to see my video work, or they might want to just see my education work. So for you, you could have potentially three different media kits, and they will look all different, where you will target the client that you want. Because although it might be really cool for you to show off all the things that you do, it might not be what they want to see. So that's what you're going to learn today, what to include in your media kit, and then also the visuals that go with it. Stephanie.
The visuals are definitely powerful. So whether you're a content creator, you're an on-camera personality, you're not just selling a service, as Anna has said, you're really selling that brand narrative, right? So who are you? What do you stand for? Who do you serve, right?
Yes.
And then Anna, like, why it matters. And I think a lot of it too, like Anna is going to go through this, like, what's your style? What's your vibe, right?
That's
You
right.
want to make sure everything is in alignment with your visual branding. And oftentimes, as Anna had said, you might have different templates depending on what brand you're pitching to. So how I pitch P&G is very different from how I would pitch Cast Magic. And we'll actually go through that in a little bit too.
Yeah, and that is exciting to know. So I wonder, so what is the poll doing, Stephanie? Everybody has media kits, or like what are we doing here? What? And
Well, I
I
mean, I
also
saw it at the beginning. So, oh, here you go. This is me. So, do you currently have a media kit? 30% said yes, 70% said no. So, for those of you that said no, you're still in a good place,
yeah.
because we're going to show you different variations, why we chose what we did, and really the psychological triggers behind all of it. And if you already do have a media kit, well, we're still going to show you, different things to keep in mind, because maybe you have a media kit, but it needs to be refreshed. Like, because I don't know about you, Anna, but sometimes I have to refresh my
Yes.
portfolio, my
Yeah.
headshots. Some of you are trying to get away with AI headshots.
I have a thing or two to say about that, but I mean, but this is not the workshop for that. But I mean, that is what you do need to refresh it. I actually, for this workshop, I've refreshed one of my media kits, because a lot of things have changed, right? So I'm updating that, and that's something that you might have to do. And for those of you 70% of you who do not have a media kit, welcome. You're going to feel so awesome after this workshop. Welcome. You're going to having a media kit provides such a different vibe when it just gives you a sense of accomplishment, right? Because you are going to see all of the things that you have done. And sometimes as entrepreneurs or busy podcasters and coaches and speakers, we forget to just enjoy what we do. Right? We just go, and we take action, right, Stephanie? And then sometimes we don't even stop to appreciate
You don't
all the
celebrate.
things.
Yeah. You're like,
Yeah,
wait a second, I did that.
exactly.
Yeah, I did that.
Yes. So a media kit is going to allow you to do that. And with the energy that you put into that, which will be intentional, that media kit is just going to be amazing. Stephanie.
Absolutely. And for those of you, one of the reasons why I love Ecamm so much, why it's been a game changer for me, not only just for live streaming, but oftentimes when someone just says, hey, we're looking for on-camera talent, guess what's the first thing I fire up? Of course, it's going to be Ecamm, because I could automatically film a high quality audition tape. And because, speed kills deals, right? So the faster you are, the better chances you're going to lock that in. And I remember I was telling this to Anna. I was like, wait a second. When my friend Owen Video was like, hey, we're looking for an on-camera talent to do this, I whipped up a video so quick. And then he sent it to the client. They're like, well, I guess we found her. You just got to go and delete that post now. And I was like, see? I was like, let's go.
Yeah, and that works for all industries, right? That works the quicker you act, the better position you are to get that deal, right? To get that. So having a media kit ready that you don't have to scramble trying to put put it together, and the deal. Meanwhile, the 30% who have a media kit already sent it. Right? They already
Agree.
sent it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna fix this. We're gonna level those numbers, Stephanie.
We sure are. We sure are. So you guys go ahead and get ready. Oh, look at that. It's 11:11 on my end. You guys know what that means. Money comes to me easily,
Ooh.
effortlessly, consistently, and without any drama. All right,
Stephanie,
love.
are you ready? Are you ready to
I
go
am
into?
ready. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, friends. So when we talk about a media kit, a couple of things that you should be mindful of are, right? It's also known as a press kit. It's also known as a brand kit. It's curated. It's going to be a professional representation of who you are, what you've done. It's also going to share key information about you, your brand, right? In a clear and compelling format. So think of it as like a visual resume. It's a marketing tool that showcases your value, your reach, and your offerings. Okay. Now, oftentimes, whenever I have a brand that reaches out to me, this is the first thing that they ask. So, for those of you that are like, hey, I have it on my list, this is your 2 hours to start writing down, okay, I need to grab this. I need to do this. Oh, what was that one thing that I worked on? And just start brainstorming and putting it in there. Because the more you drop in the comments as far as like, okay, I'm going to work on this, that gives you accountability for what we're going to do next. Okay. So, for those of you that have already received the email, you should have gotten the template that I'm going to share with you today. And that template is really going to be a template is going to walk you through this media kit. Okay. So I built this out just for y'all, just for y'all. And I'm going to walk you through the mindset and everything behind it. Okay. So first things first, obviously you want to have your social media channels. Now I've been OG in the sense that I have had this on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube, and also my website. Now here, when you open this up in Canva, okay, you guys could edit this any which way that you want. I just put Media Kit for brands and prospective clients. Now you'll notice here that I actually have 4 spots for you in here. You could choose to put one photo of you, let's say speaking on stage, you doing a live stream or whatever it is that you want. For someone like Anna and I, we're both multifaceted. And so I'll show you how I leverage these 4 frames strategically. Okay. So the media kit is really to show professionally your potential collaborators, your sponsors, event planners, or media outlets, basically what it is that you do. So notice here, like the big takeaway is how am I communicating what it is that I do visually? So I've provided a place for you to do that. And stay tuned because Anna's going to walk you through that too. Okay. So this is where you're going to show a little bit about your credibility, what it is that you do. Now, the next piece is obviously it's going to be your bio. Who are you? What do you stand for? All of those different things. Okay. So this section isn't a resume. I'm not asking you to put like, oh, where you went to high school, where you went to college, and all of that other stuff. What I'm really looking for is who are you? What do you do? And what makes you different? So if you remember at the top of the workshop, I said, I'm Stephanie Garcia. I'm a live video strategist. I help my clients go from unknown to unforgettable with video. And the way that I do that is I teach them brain hacks on how to captivate an audience from beginning, middle, and end. It's enough to keep my prospect intrigued, like, ooh, what is that? What do you mean by that? Right? So when you're thinking about your bio, obviously you want to write it in your own voice because that's going to showcase your personality. You want to keep it short, skimmable, memorable as well. Anna knows this. The whole Ecamm fam knows this. I love my alliterations. I love rhyming. I am a big fan of literary devices because that's going to be the difference that makes the difference when I'm competing with other content creators that are out there. Okay. You want to include your niche, maybe your core expertise, what lights you up about your work. The idea here is that if someone reads the section, they should still get a clear idea for your brand and your energy. Okay. Good start. And PS, by the way, I am taking a look at the comments. So shout out to Jeremy who's here too. Okay. A one sheet and a media kit are different. And I'll tell you more about that. Ask me at the end. Hold that one at the end for me. So let's say this is your name, your brief bio. Who am I? What do I do? Why am I different? Now, in this section, I would also even highlight what are your content style and topics. Okay. This is where you're going to show your strategic alignment, right? You're going to outline the main themes and topics that you create around. So for me, I'm really big on human communication. One thing that I'm also known for saying is that it's not about the gear, it's about the gears up here. So I like to build beliefs when I'm creating content. So if someone is feeling stuck, what are the beliefs that I help someone move along with the content that I create? And then I provide examples of the content that I like to create. So your style of creating content could be educational, it could be humorous, it could be lifestyle focused, whatever which way that you want to do, but whatever you like to do, okay? So don't put yourself in a box. I'm going to show you different ways that I've created content for different brands as well, depending on what I'm pitching on. Good? Great. So here's another one. So content style and topics is you're going to outline your main themes or the topics that you create around. You're going to explain your content style. So for example, motivational content for emerging entrepreneurs, or I create a lot of content for women who are tired of hiding in the shadows and want to leverage their voice. Okay, so think about that. Now, when it comes to the content style and topics, again, I'm giving you 4 frames here for you to showcase what type of content you create. So this is your opportunity to look at your portfolio, everything that you've ever created on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all the things, and put it right here. We're looking for something that is show stopping. Again, Anna's going to go through that with you as well, like what catches the eye. It might be a pop of color. It might be something that piques your curiosity. It might be you holding up your laptop. I'm going to give you a couple of examples on that end as well. Good. Here's the other piece. So here's one section that I like to do personally. I like to do UGC content creation videos. Now, what I like about this particular template that you have in front of you is the fact that you could drop in a video. Okay, so when you drop in a video in here, it basically the brand can pop in there and they could play the video. So one thing that I'm going to be very mindful of for you is that when you have the videos on here, you're going to make sure that the sound doesn't automatically play. Because when someone is previewing your brand kit and then all of a sudden 4 videos are playing at once, it becomes very, very disturbing. Good? All right, so that is going to be your UGC content creation. Again, you could swap that however which way that you want. I'm giving you guys different styles that you could choose from, okay? So the other piece over here is live streams. So obviously as Ecamm fam, I like to do a lot of live streams. Sometimes I'll do unboxing videos. Sometimes I could be like a virtual MC. I want to showcase the different live streams. So I might populate that over here. And then over on the right-hand side, I might actually show the feed, right? The comments that are currently happening. So if I look right now, I see that Jeremy, Paul Duncan, Mel Abrams have created so many comments on there, right? Mel was like, will you provide us the completed? Yes, I'll give you the completed ones too. So I'm just giving you ideas for how you could start populating this. So start thinking of what is the best live stream that I want to have out there? Or maybe if I was a virtual speaker, did I pause and take screenshots of someone saying, oh my gosh, this was the best presentation ever, etc. Good. Now, the next piece over here is, let's say you have speaking engagements. Let's say you're an MC, you're Leslie Samuel, you're rocking the stage over at Social Media Marketing World, right? You want to put moments of you in action, the fact that you are comfortable in front of a camera. If you're a podcaster, maybe a behind the scenes of you showing what it's like to be in your studio. And this was like one of the funny things that Anna and I were talking about, like, this is me behind in my studio. Hi. But I could do that with Ecamm. Okay. And it's always nice because clients will be like, wow, you have like this whole studio for you to create content. I'm like, yeah, of course. So that's your opportunity over there to showcase your speaking engagements. Choose which one you want to do. And then you want to also highlight your community. Now, your community can be, again, depending on who you're pitching, it might be the content creators. It might be like your P&Gs, the bigger brands that you work with. Okay. When it comes to this, tell your potential clients about your audience, who they are, where they come from, what's their demographic. If you could provide numbers, that's always super duper helpful, and then go from there. Okay. All right. Then, because you have done certain things, ideally you want to celebrate your wins. This is what Anna and I were talking about. You want to showcase your past campaigns. So oftentimes I'll show client name, photo, and then you could see the collab, which is actually going to be like a case study. So I give you 4 spots to do this. If you want to swap this out just for your big one, definitely go ahead and do that. Okay. So now I'm going to walk you through what I've done for you guys today. So this is my media kit. And as I mentioned before, I gave you 4 spots. So as someone who does a lot of things, this first one is a lead magnet. It already shows the potential client like, okay, Stephanie can, she could speak on stages, she could do an online course, but she could also help me create lead magnets. So that way, when she does a webinar, they have something to walk away with, right? So for example, let's take this one right here for the Media Kit Blueprint. Katie was like, Stephanie, do you have a template? I was like, yeah, I could teach a workshop and also give you a template. So you notice here, I'm showcasing, I'm speaking on stage. This is all subliminal. I'm speaking on stage. Look at how crowded the arena is. This is me holding a mic. And that big logo in the background is Vid Summit. Okay. So for if I'm pitching a brand that's trying to target content creators, they're going to easily recognize that. The third photo is me actually at a content studio. So if someone needed me to go to a content studio, I am absolutely comfortable being in front of a camera. And then the very last one is my headshot over there. Okay, good. Now this next one over here, my name, my bio. When you're creating your bio, you want to create space around it. So if you have like a big chunky paragraph, give them small bites, break it up a little bit. Okay. So the first one, I try to make it, like I said, literary devices. Stephanie Garcia is a live video strategist for brands and entrepreneurs who want to go from unknown to unforgettable. Even when you're doing your media bio, if you want to bold out specific words, you can, because that makes it even much more skimmable on that end for you. Good. Now, here's the other piece. For me in particular, as an author, as a keynote speaker, I'm going to leverage this slide for, like, let's say this is the type of content that I create, speaking engagement. Now, notice here on the left-hand side, I was very strategic as far as all the content creator stuff with recognizable brands are going to be on the left-hand side. So Vid Summit, Social Media Marketing World, VidCon, that's going to be over there. Now, if I was pitching a corporate brand, then I'm going to go for P&G, Berkshire Hathaway. And then if I wanted to, I could have a link over here for my upcoming speaking engagements. This is going to be the different screenshots. They're going to pop up. Sorry, my internet's being funky. There it is. So you're going to see all the different testimonials that are happening here, and then the schedule of like how to book me to speak, and then so on. Okay. So back to over here, high level overview. This is going to be my big winners as far as speaking engagements. James Hicks says, that's so dope. Thank you, friend. Nice to see you, friend. Okay. Then we go into UGC creation. When I do this, I want to show different styles of how I create content. So for this particular brand, this is ObsBot. So if you saw me earlier when I switched my screen, that was my ObsBot. Okay. So this is me in my office. And then if I play this video, I don't think you could hear the audio on this end, and that's okay. But you could see like I have different layers to this. So the psychology behind this is I have the visual hook, which is going to be the title at the top. I'm using different shadows, different boxes. I have different cuts in here. So at the very beginning, it was like, I'm showing you my screen, so I know how to use the software. I'm showing you how big this camera is. And then it zooms in and I do all these different things. Okay. So I'm showing the potential client how I create content. Now this one over here is going to be what I call a reaction video. This was when I actually figured out how I could zoom in on an ObsBot just using my hands. I would do like, I do this thing and it zooms in. So that makes it really fun when working with that particular client. So again, when you're doing your UGC, you want to show them. Don't just tell them you create UGC content. Show them the different ways. Okay. Get creative with it. Then I have this last one over here, and it's a video reply. And I like to do this for clients because they want to know that just because I created one piece of content, I'm not just going to like disappear, right? So I will still show them like, yeah, I did these 3 videos for ObsBot. I got a lot of attention from it. People are now asking me additional questions. I'm just going to follow up with a video reply. And at that point, brands are like, oh, wow, she's really creating a lot of content for us. I want to work with her again. Cool. Good. All right, so Ben Bradley is asking, is the template meant to be a web page? It could be a web page, it could be a slide. I personally like to have the web page because clients can scroll through it. The videos are being stored on Canva, so that's where the template lives. And we'll go through this a bit more. All right, so let's talk about this page right here. So James Hicks said that, oh, that one slide was dope. This is another slide that I absolutely love, and let me explain why. So depending on which brand I'm going to be pitching, On the far left-hand side, that's going to be all of my favorite tech and my SaaS tools. So of course, Ecamm is going to be there at the very top. I love Cast Magic. If you've ever seen a Cast Magic tutorial, I'm probably the person that's on there. I've had a couple of Cast Magic ads. People have screenshot. I'm like, hey, I see you. Okay. ObsBot, you already saw me do that. And then Linktree is another brand that I work with. Now, if I'm pitching, if I want to win more brand deals around consumer packaged goods, CPG, then I'm going to throw down. I'm going to say, here's my P&G, here's my L'Occitane, here's my SkinCeuticals, Medicube. Okay. If I want to work with a brand and I want to showcase my thought leadership, of course, I'm going to highlight the fact that I've written 3 books for Entrepreneur. I've done 3 courses for LinkedIn Learning. I've been the MC over at Vid Summit, and I'm also pretty popular in Australia because Tipsy is a really big creator company over there. So I want you to start organizing logos of the different brands that you have worked with. Maybe you have like this idea of this dream brand that you want to work with, but you might have like a similar brand that's like within that same vertical. Okay. So I like to, in my Canva, I like to have just a folder of all the brands I've ever worked with, but I organize them by specific vertical. So is it a SaaS? Is it a CPG? Or is it thought leadership? However, which way works for you, you get to decide. Good. All right, then you get to highlight your community. So again, if I was pitching Ecamm, I would show Creator Camp, right? If I'm teaching, if I want to land a brand that does corporate sponsorships, then I'm going to show me working a room full of professionals and then tell them who's the audience, give them a couple of facts, right? And so it's not necessarily facts about like how large the room was, but maybe I could say like 88% of participants walked away feeling much more confident. Good. Great. Shout out to, to Caleb is in there. Oh, look, Elizabeth is here too. All right, so past campaigns, you want to highlight past campaigns that you've done. Again, align it with the specific brand that you're going to be pitching towards. Then you go into audience insights. So things that I look for over here, over on the far right-hand side, you're going to see audience numbers on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube. When I do this, please remember that if you have an active Facebook group, right? Like I have 3,000 people in my social media strategist group. You for sure, I'm going to highlight that. Okay. Now, on the left-hand side, there's going to be other numbers that you could throw out there, like your traffic increase that you drove to that particular brand that you worked with. Maybe you help them increase their revenue. Maybe you increase their weekly reach by tagging them as a collaborator. How many campaigns have you completed? I've honestly, the 250 that I see there, I'm like, that's probably about right. If I really put down to paper all of the different campaigns that I've done, how many brands have I collaborated with? But notice here that my total audience could be 3,500. So I say this with love because some people might be thinking, oh, in order for me to have a media kit, I need to have 10,000 followers or 100,000 of followers. One thing that brands have really gotten smart about is the fact that if you are a nano influencer, which means if you have like less than 10,000 followers and your engagement rate is higher than like 2%, they're going to want to work with you because no longer are brands actually interested in like the mega influencers. And I'm talking about like the Kardashians, the celebrities, and all of that stuff because they may have big numbers, but they don't actually drive engagement. Because as I said before, if I'm showcasing ObsBot and people have questions, I have the time and the patience to create additional content to follow up, whereas a bigger mega influencer might not have the time to do that. Cool? Great. So, audience insights, this is about the audience that I've worked with and the campaigns that I've done. Now, here you want to highlight your favorite campaign case study. So, if you don't already have something on my end, I actually have a marketing portfolio. And so, here, this is different. Again, I'm always collecting different case studies. And so, for different case studies, I'll just pull from this. So when Elizabeth was saying like, wow, you're really organized. Yeah. I try to be very organized as far as like where I have all my things. So notice here, like, let's say leap into live streaming. Here's the logo. Here's the landing page. There's all this stuff. This is basically all Caleb, right? But then I could also put in what were the results? How many views did we get from the reach? And so whenever I'm doing a specific campaign study, I'll just pull from my resources and really go about it that way. Okay. All right. So the last page is going to be let's work together. So clarity is key. Basically, tell them what you want to do next. Include your name, your email, your links to your website, a way to book a call with you. Okay. So add a call to action and then really go about it that way. Now, notice how I didn't include any pricing. The reason for that is because I really want to know what my client wants to do with this campaign that they're working on. Sometimes they might just want someone that creates a live stream, but then they don't realize that a single live stream can be repurposed into an Instagram story, into a blog post, into a testimonial, into all of these other different things. And so until you have that conversation, you can't upsell them. Does that help? All right, cool. So as Anna was saying before, you can have different versions of your media kit. This one right here, you should already have in your email. So I show you how it looks when it's blank. I showed you how it looks when I'm putting it together. This one is just my speaking page. This one is my portfolio, completely different, but I still am going to advise that you have a portfolio to work with, okay? This one is my UGC one, looks a little bit different, but you still see that I have like the product demos that I have in here, okay? And then one thing that I also wanted to share with you is this was the part that I was saying. Sometimes clients will book me because they want a live shopping host. So I'll show them the live stream of how I do it on TikTok, but then I also show them how I do a video reply and then an explainer video. Cool. So Miss Anna, here we are, my love. I powered through all of that, and I know that we had a lot of questions come through. So
Yes.
I don't
So
know if you
let's
saw
go
any
through
of them.
let's go to the comments real quick and see what they have. Stephanie, that was amazing. Thank you so much. I got some tips there. And I'm like, ooh, okay. Especially that, that logo page. That was pretty nice. So let's go over a couple of questions here. And Stephanie, if you see any you would like me to pull up, please let me know.
Okay.
So in here, well, there you can read it. So go ahead and do
Yes.
that.
So for Christopher, they're actually videos. So what I like about it is, again, when I set it up in Canva, I don't have them autoplay with the audio on, because if I have 4 videos on there, all of a sudden it's just chaos. So from there, client can go in and push play and choose which one they want to. So I'm giving them a variety of my different personality and the different content that I can produce. Images, like if I was saying I create UGC content creation, as a video content creator, I'm going to show you video. Now, if I was a product photographer, of course, I'm going to show you images, right? But in this
You
particular case,
have
what I
to.
was showing is videos. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I was like, that's a no-brainer.
So this is a good question from Jeremy.
So what's the difference between a media kit and a one sheet? So a one sheet is usually just a high level overview. It doesn't always show the examples. So they're pretty much bullet points. For example, I use a one sheet for pricing, or I'll use a one sheet for speaking engagements. Like, here's my bio. These are the 3 topics that I could deliver as a keynote. And then here are 2 testimonials from people within the same industry. A media kit is where that's where I get to floss a little bit. I'm going to flex. I'm going to show you all the things, because once you make it so engaging, they're like, wow, this is what they'll say, Jeremy, like, wow, she's so polished. She's so organized. And they'll start to realize this isn't her first rodeo. That means that she's done this before. She has a process. It's going to be really easy to work with her. You get what I'm saying? Cool. What if you have a
Okay.
web page that has all this information? Do we still need a PDF version of it? Um, I think having a PDF version is always nice, but having a web page, I think, works best these days. The reason why I say that is because oftentimes agencies are very, depending on their tech team. Their tech team may say, no, don't open external or don't open attachments from people that you don't know. However, for a link, they're more open to doing that. I also like the fact of having a trackable link, because then I could say, oh, Anna, I pitched this many brands. This is how many opens I got. So depending on how fancy you get with your pitching, you could say like, oh, this person opened my pitch 5 times. There
Which is
might be something
good,
there.
right? We're looking for.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay, we have Marianne, which is a great question,
Um,
I think. Yeah.
it doesn't really matter, honestly. I mean, whatever works best for you. Um, I think for me personally, I usually do it in third person because, and this is how my brain works. So let's say the assistant is pitching me to their director. They're like, oh, well, Stephanie Garcia is this. They're not having to rewrite my bio in their brain. If I said like, I am a live video strategist, right? They're like, they're just going to read it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you make it readable and skimmable, it's easier to pitch you that way. I hope that helps.
Yes. And then we have one last one before we move on to the visuals and how to capture them.
What if you're at the beginning of this quest and don't have much? Experiment with it. I remember when I wanted to work with Newer, Neewer, I was basically I went through my house and I was like, how many Newer mics do I have? How many of the Newer lights did I have? And all of that other stuff. And once I tagged the brand Alfredo on social media, they started to pay attention to me. And then that's how they reached out to me on TikTok. And TikTok usually would have like, this is your average commission rate. But because they saw me consistently creating content with their gear, then they increased my commission rate. Yeah, that's a
And
lot, you
yeah,
guys. I know.
but it's okay. We have a replay.
Yeah, I was
Right.
like, you guys, again, there's only so much that we could offer in this time frame. We will have a Q&A section at the end, but if you want more, then definitely go ahead and let Ecamm know. But Anna, like when a couple of things that I wanted to make very clear in the media kit was, yes, you have these placeholders for your photos and you have these placeholders for your videos, but you also have to be very, very intentional about how you take those photos and what kind of videos you do on there. And so that's why I'm really excited about your portion because you're going to give us all the photography tips and how to like get it all done with an Ecamm. So I'm excited for that.
Yes. All right. Okay. So we're going to talk about photography for your media kit. And let me say this to you real quick. Photography for your media kit is different for everyone, which is what we mentioned earlier. And a media kit is only as impactful as your visuals. Okay, so we are going to go over the visuals that you should include in your media kit and how easy you can capture this if you have a plan. Okay, so there are a couple of things that you can do when you're thinking about creating your media kit. When you are, you can either choose to do it yourself, right, or you can hire a professional photographer to do it for you. This will be called a personal branding session, right? So in a personal branding session, your photographer should be able to ask you the questions that they need to produce the visuals that you will be needing for your media kit. Right. So for example, Stephanie already provided you with a media kit. You are going to show the media kit to your photographer and you are going to say, here's what I want to do. Here's my content. And here are the visuals that I am imagining putting in each of these sections. Right. So it is really important that you have that concept clear in your mind so that your visuals can really tell your story. Okay. So yes, you can capture photos with your iPhone. However, you need to be very careful with how you are doing it because media kits, right? There are a lot of people who are investing their time and money to getting professionally photos done. Right? So when you're taking your photos with your phone, just make sure that you follow specific rules, I want to say, right? And one of them is cleaning your lens. This is so important. You will take a photo and it could be the best photo. And if your lens is dirty, that photo is not going to work for you. Right? So it's tip number one, right? Just clean that lens before you start capturing your photos. But I'm going to back up a little bit about why is it so important to have visuals that are impactful and that are not blurry and that are well lit. When you are sending your media kit, those clients or sponsors are going to be looking through many. And the thing that will stop them would be photos. Okay, it's not going to be photos, and then of course the videos that are there, depending on what you're pitching, they might click it or they'll just skim because a media kit is just for skimmers, right? They're gonna go, okay. Let me see the numbers there. Let me see this. Oh, that's a great shot, right? They will say this. Okay, so we're gonna make sure that those photos, those visuals, are what you need. All right. So this is why it's important to have high quality videos for your media kit. Now, pro photos are going to elevate it. And we already talked about that. Once you have photos that are, again, well lit, right? So let's talk about that. If you are taking a photo, right, that is lit from the front like I am, right? It's nicely, that's like the normal lighting that we see on all headshots. That will be great for your bio. That will be great for your contact me page. Like the one that you saw, like Stephanie had the contact me, or let's connect. You can use it for that. Now, where you can get creative depending on what your media kit is, what the content that you're going to include in your media kit is. Now you can turn one light off if you want to be mysterious, depending on what your content is again, right? So you're going to make sure that when you are going to, whether you are doing it yourself or you are hiring a photographer, write that list down, right? We're going to go over some photos like lifestyle photos, headshots, or behind the scenes that you can include in your media kit. All right. So now, how do you prepare for your headshots? I'm going to pretend that you're going to be doing it yourself. And do please write in the comments. Let me know if you are a DIYer, because this is going to be for you. Whether you have Ecamm or not, you can still take your headshots with your DSLR, but with Ecamm, it makes it really easy because as you can see right now, I can, when I'm in solo, for example, if I go in solo and you can just see my screen, I can just take a shot of myself and that will be in high quality, well lit because I already have my lights, right? So that is easy with the DSLR. If you have your phone, right, you can then set it up on a tripod, go in front of a window, a little far away from the window. And then in the window, you are just going to move around and see what the light, how the light falls on you, right? So you're going to turn your face and see, once you find that light, that is your spot. And that is where you're going to stay to take your photo. Okay. And then you're going to, now let's go into, all right, I found the light. And that will be step number 1. I found a light. Now you're going to write your steps on what is it that you need. Do you need a lifestyle photo? Do you need a behind the scenes? Do you need a traditional headshot? Do you need a traditional headshot, but with different color backgrounds? Right? So you're going to add that up. And if you're DIYing it, you're going to order that from Amazon, or you're going to take it and then remove the background and add the color background later on your media kit. Right? So you can do that as well. And let me share a little story for you about the importance of having a great professional headshot. I was at a high quality event with, top executives and marketers, and I was photographing it. The marketing directors and event coordinators, I overheard them, and they were talking about how awful it was and how surprised they were that some of the VPs had submitted blurry photos and not well lit photos, right? And they were talking about that, how those photos made their presentation, the marketing directors and the event coordinators made their presentation look bad. And I hear them, right? Because when I see a photo like that, I'm like, there's no reason why. You have a phone. You can take a beautiful headshot that looks professional with your phone, right? So that is, imagine, right? How if they are saying that about top executives, these were 500 Fortune companies, right? And they were saying that about them. Imagine what they will say about us. We're trying to get deals, right? And our visuals are not right. So that is the importance. Do not downplay that. I see some people, oh my gosh, this shot looks great. I was at an event. Let me crop it. No, right? Don't do it unless it was like well lit, well taken. You look really good and all of that, right? So I would say take your time either invest in a personal photographer or a professional photographer, or do it yourself. And trust me, you can do it. You just need to have a lot of organization to do that. All right. So, all right. So now let's talk about choosing your headshot style. So choosing your headshot style, you're going to think, I will suggest you do all of these, right? You do the lifestyle, you do behind the scenes, you do a traditional headshot because it shows you in a different light, right? So you're going to prepare for it by doing just what is your vision? Right? You're going to look at the template that Stephanie provided you with or another one that you have, and then you're going to populate it. Say, okay, which one will go here? And we're going to go over examples of these in a little bit, right? So the style depends on what you want to showcase. You put a mix of these, like I mentioned, so formal, lifestyle, etc. Now, I'm going to show you some of these. So studio, background. Right? These are normal, white background, nice, looking great, looking professional. And then the other ones are still traditional headshots, but they have a pop of color. They have some personality. The ladies have some clothes, some colorful outfits in it. So they are looking great. And this will look perfect in the first part, for example, their bio or their contact sheet. They can use any of these. Right? So now let's talk about environmental. So environmental headshots are exactly that. They are in an environment away from traditional headshots. And it could just be at the workplace. It could be at a coffee shop. It could be anywhere. It could be at their own company, but in a different spot that shows lifestyle, environmental things, right? Elements. Now the lifestyle is like this, and we have seen this a lot, right? So it's a coffee shop and it's you doing your thing, you working on it, and them showing you what you do, right? You're going to show your potentials, the things that you can do to support that work that you do, whatever it is, right? So for you, it could be, if you're a podcaster, you can be adding how do you prepare for your podcast. You can also be adding you can also be adding things about products, right? What you're using to prepare for your podcast. You can add behind the scenes and things like that. So here's the behind the scenes, and this is my studio. This one, you can take it yourself. You can go ask someone to take the photo for you. This was with my 14 Pro Max, and we just took it from above, and that is just a great shot. Now, to look at sample branding in action, right? This is one of my clients. We talked about all of this that I've mentioned already. He expressed what he wanted to do, what he wanted to include in his media kit and his for speaking engagement. He is a coach. So after that, we have the other supporting photos, right? So the first one is his main headshot that he uses on everything. And then now these are the supporting photos that he can use in different parts of his media kit. And so that is how we prepared for all of that, right? So again, here is his main headshot, straight up. He can remove the background from this and use it just like that, although he's not going to because he loves that shot. And then again, the other ones that he can use. Now, right? Pretty cool. So now we're going to go to wardrobe tips. And this is something that it can be daunting, but it is so worth it because you have to make sure that the colors, just like we saw earlier on this background, right? You see how they chose their their outfits, they're chosen purposely for these backgrounds. So you will make sure that you do that as well when you are choosing your wardrobe. All right. So, okay, here are some wardrobe tips. The first one is I will recommend choose 5 outfits. And this goes the same. Guys, don't get worried about this. I will break it down for you, but you choose 5 outfits. For ladies, I would say choose a color that you always feel confident in. That is the color that you just go, and I call that a safe color. So for me, it's white, yellow, pink, blue, and green. I have all of those, and then sometimes black. I have those every time I need to do something that I need a little for, right? So today I wore white. And so for you, you can go and choose your white, your safe color. Then you're going to choose an outfit that you don't typically wear because for some reason it looks weird in different parts, right? So for example, for me, I have a pair of pants that I will not wear outdoors for nothing, but it looks great in photos. So I have worn that outfit on headshots and it looks really good. And I will show some samples of my media kit in a minute. So then that would be it. So something that you are safe in. The other one is going to be one that you haven't worn in a minute. Then you're going to have layers, right? So you're going to have one shirt, white, for example, for guys, or blue or green, a jacket, right? And then you're going to have either lapel, the lapel, or you're going to have a tie. Right? So it's going to be something different. It's going to make that shot look different, but those will still look like different outfits for you, right? For ladies, you're going to choose accessories. So you can choose cardigan, you can choose a jacket as well, but you're going to then choose accessories, choose different earrings, choose different necklaces, and that will make your shot look different. Okay. And so now we're going to talk about lighting and background. So again, we talked real quick about how that is, but let me show you something. What I'm going to do is I'm just notice of, let me see something. Stephanie, I'm going to bring you in real quick before I change this. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you something. So look at my lighting. I have one light here, one light here. To my right, to my left, and then I have a big window that is my fill light. So if I turn, and this is what I was mentioning earlier, so let me unplug myself real quick, and then I was going to show you early what happens when you switch the lighting. So this lighting right here, I would choose it for a headshot, right? So now I'm going to show you.
I love all the behind the scenes.
Right? And then you see, so it changed a little bit. So now it's a little bit dull, it's a little bit darker. It gives a different tone, right? To it. Right? So for guys, this might work better than for ladies. For me, I just like to be blessed up because, you know, it's better for smoothing. So for my ladies, you might want the light full on. But for guys, this light like this will create a nice shadow and enhance your features down here. And also enhance your shoulders. And that will look really nice and confident when you're taking your headshot. Okay, so for Ecamm, you have Ecamm in front of you. You click your record, and then you start with your posing, which we're gonna go over later. But you see how the lighting changed, and I'm going to just change it back because
I love it. I was like, wait, we need a stream deck.
no, like you have, Stephanie, you have a control that you can use for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is lighting for you. So lighting makes a big difference. With lighting, you can have a great camera, an amazing lens. And if the lighting is off, don't worry about it. Just forget it. It's not gonna look as good. The lighting makes everything look better if it's controlled, right? As well as if you have your phone and you have great lighting on your phone can produce incredible headshots or photos for your media kit, right? So now we're going to go over posing and expression and then some posing. So posing and expression is really, Stephanie, I brought you back. Posing and expression is very important because that is what's going to show it's going to represent what you are trying to send, the message, right? So here it is. I'm gonna move the mic a little bit so you're gonna hear me off. So for ladies, I have a table in front of me. My camera, if I move, for example, like this, I'm already blurry. So I know that my zone is right here if I want to be on my desk. There are others like people who use Sony that the autofocus is great. I'm using my Nikon, which I love, but the autofocus is not so great. So a table right here provides you, it's a nice propping, right? So you're just going to do this and you already have one shot. And again, if you're doing it with Ecamm, you are recording this. So just make sure that you hold a little bit before you move on to the next pose. So I'm gonna do a little flow posing for you right away. So I'm just gonna show you a headshot, okay? So for this, a headshot that you're going to have for your media kit, for your bio, you can just be right here and you can just have your hands right here. Then you're gonna bring your hand up. Then you're gonna move to the side. And then you can put your hands down. Right? So and there you have that flow posing that afterwards you can look through and see which one you like, which one works better, which one is going to look better on what part of your media kit. A headshot will look better on your bio and also at the in your contact page. Right? So now speaking of contact page is really exciting. Hey, contact me, a nice prop, a phone. So right? And you can do these again with your phone, or you can do it right here in Ecamm. When you want to use your cell phone, your phone would be when you want to, I want to say 3/4 of your body to show, right? Because in the setup, for example, for me, I won't be able to do that, right? Because of the setup here. Now for guys, you can do the same thing. For guys, instead of having your hands in the front, you're gonna have your hands spread out, right? And then I'm not moving my mic too much so that you can still hear me, but you're gonna have your hands spread out a little bit, right? So then here you go, your shoulders are wide, your face is straight up. Now you can turn your face this way, but not too much, because if you tilt your head too much, it doesn't look that good on guys. So just make sure that you have your hands like this, and then you can do your smile, or just a smirk, or just a straight on mysterious face, whichever face it is that you want to show on your headshot. Okay. Also for guys, you can do something like the famous holding the watch, look at the time, right? But for here, you're gonna do it like look at the time, or this. Okay, but you're gonna do it with your shoulders broad, right? So you're gonna do it like this, and then kind of like that. For you, right? Also with jackets, you can have a jacket, one of these jackets, you can just pull it down like this, and that will be a shot for you. But for guys also, you can do it with you can take the headshot with your phone, and that will also look good. Just remember that you need to be in front of the window, right? Or if you have professional lighting like we do, if you're a podcaster or thing like that, you can take it. You will have to set up your space. And so for setting up your space, just make sure that you have all the accessories that you need, that you have. If you're going to use your phone, you have your phone. If you're going to use, you can have all your outfits set, because once you're moving from space to space, you are going to sweat. Your thoughts are going to get interesting. You're not going to remember things. So the more organized you are, when you're doing all of that, the better it is. It will be for you to get those headshots. So now I'm gonna show you my media kits and what I have. I have two. So this is all of these photos that I'm gonna show you here. They are taken with Ecamm. So this photo was with Ecamm. Then I have this. I have it sort of like a website for the client, but I send it as a PDF, and they also have a link that they can look at it as well. So here is my photography page, and then video, my setup, and then the setup that you saw again, and then so I'm talking about collaborations, then all the things that I have done in collaborating as well, then my links, and then I have the projects that I have done, downloadable lead magnets that I have, the projects that I have done in Spanish, and all the other collaborations that I have had Then I say my thank yous, and then that's it. And that is a link to my website. Now I have my media kit. Now I have my media kit that is for an overall. So it has a lot of different things, right? So in here, I have my intro. This photo, again, I took it with Ecamm. And as you can see here, I have the logo. So my client can see it right away. The clients that I've worked with, this is for corporate clients. Then I have testimonials with headshots. And because I knew, right, I curated this one for Ecamm because I knew this is for Ecamm, I included the Ecamm, part of the Ecamm team here. And then we have visibility. So in here, I do a quick highlight of my experience, what I do, the audience that is engaged, as seen on. So my podcast, Ecamm Network, and the speaking engagements that I have had. Then in here, so behind the scenes, which is, don't underestimate the power of behind the scenes. Behind the scenes footage are so engaging. It tells so much about you. It tells so much about your story, and clients really love it because they see how professional you look on the field, right? And they also can see your equipment if you take the behind the scenes intentionally. Now, this is again another show that I did, and they are prominently known here in the community. So I did a series of podcasts for them, for their organization, for their nonprofit. And then here is Let's Connect. So it's really just an overview of the services that I have and that I offer, what they can expect from me, and how they can contact me. So basically, that is it. So the thing that I would like you to take away from this session is that visuals will make your media kit. Spend time on them, right? Spend time looking for them. Spend time looking for your content, because your content is going to be the thing that is going to inspire your visuals. Okay? Your visuals have to be clean. By clean, I mean well lit, well thought out. If there's anything in the background, it's intentional. You put it there for a reason, right? If you are going to include a laptop, don't just have a laptop to have a laptop. Actually take the photo with the intention of having something included in the laptop. And where is that going to go? Right? So think about all of that. And then also, as we were talking earlier, when you're looking, getting this content for your media kit, stop and marinate, right? Stop and celebrate all of those accomplishments that you have had. Because once you do that, you're going to get this energy and you're going to feel so proud of all the work that you have done, that looking for those visuals and looking for the content is going to become not a job for you, but almost like a reminiscing time, almost like you're just sitting down looking for the things to include in your media kit. It's not going to be a job, because putting a media kit together, to tell you the truth, is not easy, right? You're going to have to look for that content intentionally, because that is the purpose of your media kit, to intentionally send it to specific clients. So now your visuals have to match all of that content. And then, my friends, that could be the difference on sending your media kit and saying, for example, he attaches my media kit, looking forward to hearing from you, or attaches my media kit, I'm looking forward to exploring opportunities to working with you, right? So you're going to feel a little bit more confident if once you get that feeling, oh my gosh, I have done all of this, right? And you're going to put that energy into that media kit. So prepare, be proud of everything that you have accomplished. And like one of our friends in the comments say, what if I don't have enough? I'm pretty sure you do, because prior to this, you had other skills, right? You had, whether they were soft skills, they're still skills that you can actually showcase on your media kit. You just have to find the right visual. And we have a phone and we have a DSLR camera, if we do, that you can get all those visuals as well. So take your time looking for these visuals, plan your outfits, plan your spot where you're going to be taking those photos, And I guarantee you it's going to be a little work, but it's going to be so worth it. So worth it. Stephanie, I'm bringing you back.
That was so good. Thank you. That was really fun. I really enjoyed seeing the behind the scenes. I saw a couple of comments over there like, wow, I really like seeing you in action. So that was very helpful. Some of the comments you didn't probably see it because you're in the
Yeah.
middle of it. They said that they really love the clean look and the layout of it, right? So
Yeah.
lots
Let
of
me
feedback from
see.
everyone.
Let me
Yeah,
see what I missed in here. Okay. Hello, Star Wars. That you like the analytic approach? Yeah, yeah, you have to analyze it.
you have to be
Okay.
strategic with it, definitely for
You
sure.
do. You do. You
Um,
have to. Okay,
oh,
so
Star
I
Wars
think we
Fitness. Wait,
answered
is
that.
that? I wonder if that's
Who?
Sean Q or is that someone else?
Who's Sean Q?
Sean Quintero, he's a good friend of mine. He has like this fitness thing that he's doing. He was doing 75 hard, and then he decided there's a fun way that I could do this. I should just use my lightsaber with it. It is Sean Q. Okay, it is. Okay, guys. Yeah, I got it right.
So yeah, so
Um,
potential clients will judge you on your product or service by the quality of your photos. Tim, is you were so right about that. I have seen this so many times, and when some of my clients, when they hire me to redo their photos, do a rebrand or do their headshots, they do mention, I did not like the photos, I did not like this, I did not like how this looked. It wasn't shared telling the story. So there's a lot of judgment that goes in a headshot once they see it before they actually see it. Right? Because people, I mean, we're humans. The first thing that we're going to say is either, oh my gosh, I love that, you look so great, or I'm not sure. They just don't look like themselves there, right? So you want the judgment to be good, right? You want the judgment to
First
be good.
impressions still count. Yeah. Hmm.
Oh yeah, George. So what are my thoughts of using AI photography? I think that if you need to use it, go for it. Right? If you need a headshot, that you need that quick headshot, and that's what I teach in my DIY headshots masterclass, that with your phone you can get your headshot and then you can AI it. Right. And by AI, I mean you can remove it. You can add a little bit of, like, you can add a different outfit, right? Different color. It doesn't look as good as the natural thing, but if you were in a pinch, I will say go for it. I will say go for it. AI photography will never replace the experience that someone gets when they are with a photographer and all of that. It's a lot of work to do a personal branding session. So yeah. Okay. Oh, that was you.
You know what I will say? What's really nice about when you hire a photographer to work with you on your headshots and everything is that you can ask questions as far as like, how should I position myself? How should I do this? So that way, when you are at an event and there is a professional photographer there on site, you kind of already know what your best angles are. You kind of know what to do with your body and
Yeah.
things of that sort. And that really just comes from experience. As much as I love I think it's a tool that can enhance your current skill set.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like when you are, one of these days I've done this in my personal workshop, but one of these days I'm going to see what Ecamm says about doing a whole, because when I'm teaching sitting down and headshots, it's a little bit restrictive, right? So if we are standing up, it's and then teaching you how to move your body, just like Stephanie said, you will know what your good angle is, and we all have a good and a bad angle, right? We all do it, and it's a matter of just like tilting your head just a little bit, and then that's it. And AI won't be able to see that, right? But a person will. But AI will be able to give you a nice little headshot that you can get by till you have the chance or the funds to invest in a personal branding session, right? So
Yeah.
Joel Bennett, hello. He said, I both DIY and pay. They have not figured out a way to be both in front and behind the camera at once, and I struggle with the remote operational tools. I get you. I understand you using that remote control on the camera. I have come to the agreement with myself that it's better to do it with my cell phone than it is to do it with the DSLR, just because I have to do so many things. I have to put a little mark in there to make sure, like, just like I just showed you guys earlier, that if I move this far, then I'm blurry. And if I move back here, then, you know, this is what happens. And when you are flow posing, you don't want to be worried about moving too much. You just want to flow pose, right? Just like,
I really like that where you said the flow pose. I thought that was so intuitive.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
these little micro movements, but they create a different energy.
Yeah. And the photos that, for example, this photo right here on my media kit, this one, let me go back to page, this one, I took it with my
Yeah.
iPhone,
Oh,
right?
I love it.
This one, I took it with my iPhone as well. And then this one, my assistant took it with my iPhone and with her iPhone, actually. This one was Ecamm. This one, again, was with my iPhone. And then
And are you
obviously these
using
are
the
just,
back camera for it? You're not using like the selfie piece of it,
I
right?
actually used a selfie piece of it. And this,
Really?
yeah, and this one right here, I took it
That
with
one's so
my
gorgeous.
iPhone as well, right? And
I love it.
so, right, so the what I was mentioning earlier, like, just make sure that you have enough lighting. Make sure that your poses are you have enough space for your posing, so that you're like, okay, so if you are with a DSLR, to Joel's point, and you move this way and you're in the groove, right? You're like, yes, I'm getting it, and then you are out of focus. It's gonna throw you off. It's gonna throw the whole thing
Yeah.
off. So just for me, I put my iPhone front camera, Stephanie, front camera. I have my remote control that came with my tripod. I post and I take the picture. I take the picture about 3 times, and then I turn, and then I go again, right? And then after that, you go in, you look at how the poses are looking, you're making sure that there's nothing in the background that you didn't mean to have
Like,
there, right? Because
yeah.
although you can remove it on post, it's going to be additional work. So if you can remove it in real life first, just why not, right? So you review all of that, and then you continue and you repeat, right? You repeat all of that. And your supporting photos are just behind the scenes, right? Your supporting
Yeah.
photos can be behind the scenes. Your supporting photos can be, for example, I had some behind the scenes here. For example, let me show you. This one we already saw, this one, right? So this is a behind the scenes, and this could be a product of photography for whatever. So this is not a product photography, but just imagine that you can also get it. And this was an overcast day, and I wanted to get the greenery to show, because for this specific reason purpose that I wanted to show calmness, and I wanted to show here's where I stream from, and you can see that I have my phone there, and then I show that to my client, right? So
I love it.
all of the things that we can do with the phone to include in our media kit is like, you would not think that it was done with a phone, right? And you
Yeah.
also can attach the phone to Ecamm, right?
Yes.
And then take it with Ecamm inside. So the benefit of doing that is that you're going to have everything in one recording in your computer, and you'll be able to edit right away. And then also inside of Ecamm, you can tweak the colors, you can tweak the temperature, all of the things to make it a little bit different. If you're not liking the lighting, if you're not liking how the temperature is falling down on your face or on your hair, you can adjust it as well inside of Ecamm, right? So
Yeah,
let's
I'm a big
see.
fan of Marshall Fox's LUTs.
Those are great. Those are
Yeah.
great. So, hello, Lion. An idea I use. Most people have a college or community college with students in photography, and you can hire them for a great cost. Yes, yes. And this is even more important on this. That you give them a list of what it is, right? Because they are going to be,
Yep.
yes, they're a photographer, and that's great. I collaborate with students all the time, and they need a little bit of guidance. Once you guide them and you share your vision with them, and just make sure that you know that you're going to have to repeat it a little bit of times, they do an amazing job. They do a really good job. So that's a great idea. You can get so many there's no reason to not have good photography in your media kit. Like, there's really not. If you think about it, you have so many accessible tools. One being your phone, two, as Lion just mentioned, college, right? You also have your kids. I mean, your kids are awesome with that phone. Right? Your nieces, your nephews, they are awesome with that phone. So they can take those photos for you, the behind the scenes photos, right? You are here, and then you can say, hey, just take a photo of me right here. Just make sure that you're away from so you don't go there. And then you take it. And then that's your behind the scenes shot. Just make sure you clean that glass, right? The camera lens.
Clean the lens. Oh, I love
You
that.
have to. You have to. So how often should you take new photos? This is a great question, Star Wars. So I would say as often as your content changes, right? So if you have something new, I have a lot of clients who come in and they say, I'm doing a speaking engagement and the photos that we took 3 years ago don't go with them, right? So we're like, okay, so that's 3 years. So now we're going to do a whole a personal branding session again with new goals, with new ideas. So I would say personal branding between 2 and 3 years. Headshots, whenever you change. If you change your hair, if your hair, you change your haircut and you know there's gonna stay like that. Anything that's visually impactful, that is a change, I would say just take that headshot brand new right away. So it's So for media kits, Stephanie, for you, how often do you change your headshots? You update your headshots?
Same thing. I feel like if I'm changing my look completely, so this is for the women out there. Usually during the winter months, I have dark hair. When it starts to go into the spring and the summer, I'll have highlights. So I'll know that I'll switch my photos that way. There's nothing more jarring than, like, let's say I do a workshop, but then it's an old photo of me with highlights in my hair and I show up with dark hair. I just feel like it has this incongruency within it. So even in the promo, I was like, oh, okay, I should put my hair down. I should that's what people are going to recognize.
Yeah. And it is true. Any time that you have a change like that. And then branding says, if you lose weight, yes, if you lose weight also, but don't let that. And this is the thing. For example, you letting, not you, but I'm saying people letting themselves, like, I hear this all the time in my business. I want to book a headshot session, but I don't want to do it because I want to lose weight first, right? I actually have been there too, right? But I was like, you need to, what you're saying to me is, you're going to wait on making money until you lose weight. No. Right? That doesn't work. It just doesn't make sense. You make money and then maybe you will have close to, like, to pay the money to pay a gym and to pay a coach or something like that. But don't wait. You honor yourself where you are at right now. And if you have a really good photographer, I am so good, by the way. But if you have a really good headshots photographer, they will post you in a way that you would be like, what the hell? Right? Like, is that me? Like, really, I hear that all the time. So make sure, don't wait. Don't wait to make money because you're waiting to lose weight, right? So just go for it. That in and of itself will motivate you to do more things, right? Because you're going to see how good you look. You're going to be doing something for yourself. And that is going to catapult and just other things happening for you that you have been stopping to do because you were waiting for the new you, right? So I would say, yes, don't wait, right? Don't wait. And then, hello, Caleb. You can change the media kit pictures. Okay. Yes, exactly. You can. Yeah. And yeah, your body's still looking for you and you should be proud of it regardless of your weight. There we go. I mean, yes. Right. And just don't wait to celebrate yourself. So this is a little bit of a special question, but how would I use the media kit to land gigs like Star Wars Celebration or Comic-Con? All right, Stephanie, that's for you.
I love this. I love this question from Sean Q because my whole entire family is in the 501st. So we have been cosplaying for probably like the last 15 years. So I would say for you, Sean, if you want to do things like Star Wars Celebration or even Comic-Con, there are some really great photographers that specialize in cosplay. So those are the ones that you definitely want to reach out to and probably get a couple of shots with them, or just do some research on Instagram to see what kind of shots people are getting. Now, from a media kit perspective, I would say the people that typically hire for Comic Con, let's say if it's an organization, you don't really need a media kit. You really just have to follow up with them in the DMs and start connecting with people that way. So if you wanted to get into Comic Con, I would definitely do that. For Star Wars Celebration, gosh, I just realizing how nerdy I am. For Star Wars Celebration, the same thing. I would look for the photographer. So I think his name is Brandon. Brandon is the photographer that he does a lot of the Comic-Con 501st photos. And a lot of the 501st folks are still going to Star Wars Celebration as well. So hopefully that helps. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the family say, good for you. Awesome, Ashby. Yes. Yes. Let's do this. And yeah, they were special. They are special photographers like that. Star Wars are one of them. If you're talking about, and you're there in fitness, right? But you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure you encourage your clients to just go for it, right? Don't stop doing
Yeah.
what they want to do because they want to get to the next level. We honor each part of ourselves until we get to that part, and then we thank the other part of ourselves that got us there, right? So because
Yeah.
unless we make that connection between our true self now and our future self where we want to go, it's a disconnection that is just not going to happen, right? It's just going to be harder for you to do things if you are putting that barrier on yourself towards your future goals.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so this one is with the Media Kit website, do you recommend adding it to your existing site or creating a completely new site? So oftentimes I just create a microsite. So if I go over to like the About Me page, I'll have a link that says download my Media Kit, and then they'll click on that and it'll take them to another destination where it has everything on there. And most brands will have that too. So, like, let's say if I went to the San Diego Zoo, they have what's called like a press kit, and the press kit will have demo videos, behind the scenes stuff that they could download from there. And so, same thought process for your media kit.
Okay, so Caleb says, I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. If you're getting started, find products you love that have affiliate programs, promote them naturally, and make a case study. And while
Yeah.
you're doing all of that, hand your phone to somebody, because let me tell you, we do a lot of things that in our everyday lives that will make it to a media kit. A lot of things that we do, because what we do is what we do, right? We are doing in our everyday life who we are and what we do. So there are a lot of things that you can, a lot of photos with your phone that you can take to do this. Like Stephanie
Hmm.
behind the scenes. So Stephanie, if you go, for example, I'm gonna put you on solo, and if you go and you're behind the scenes,
For me? Okay.
yes.
You want my behind the scenes?
Yes, real quick, like the ASBA, right? If you go in this behind the scenes and you're typing and stuff like that, right? And that's a shot. That's a shot right there for you, or that's a video. Exactly. You see? So you can do different things with while you're working and take that shots,
Hmm.
because don't lose an opportunity, right?
You know what I was going to say too is that if you're just starting out, if you don't have any brand deals, it is good for you to practice because you'll realize, hey, I might need like a new tripod for this, or hey, how did they get that shot? You really kind of have to practice how they're creating their UGC content, how they're doing the transitions, whether they're using like Adobe Premiere, CapCut, Final Cut Pro, all of that different stuff. You start to learn how to create content and in the way that the brand likes.
Yep. And we have some question. I believe they were asking about your Canva. I believe it's your Canva. Gina, could you share your Canva site link? I believe that's for you,
Yeah,
for your
I'm more than happy
site.
to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have that one, and then again, yes, Media Kit is just highlighting the best parts of you. You're just highlighting your zone of genius. That is genius.
And yeah, and to expand on that too, like, but you should also have your awesomeness folder, right? So your awesomeness folder is all the awesome things that you've done. And if you're super nerdy like me in Notion, I like to categorize things like, oh, here's a testimonial or here's a this or that. So that way, when a brand, if I come across a brand at, let's say, CES, I know I have it cataloged somewhere that if I need to pull up a case study, boom, I could grab it.
And that is good to have, right? Because when we get those emails, wasting time is not good, right? You need to just have all of that organized. And just like you just mentioned, Stephanie, okay, I have it here. There you go. All right. Just
Yep.
send it right away because you know where it's at. Um,
No, it's my Leaf into live streaming mug.
Tesla.
I know. Gosh, what have been my favorite collaborations to work on? I'll let you go, Anna. Anna.
So my favorite collaborations to work on in the podcasting world, obviously, is Ecamm, because there are so many different opportunities to not only to share my knowledge with the creator community in photography, but also in video and video creation. As you saw in the Media Kid sign up blueprint sign up, I am a killer video producer. Thank you, Caleb. So I am able to use those skills with Ecamm more so than I would have done if I didn't have this partnership. Because although I use Ecamm for my video podcasting show, is a specific vertical, a specific topic that I need to stay within almost. And with Ecamm, I have the flexibility of doing different things. So to me, that is Ecamm is one of my favorite partnerships digitally. But in real life, I couldn't mention one. I couldn't because they're so good, all of them. And I would not want to say something and then have another one be like, hey, but okay, Stephanie, you.
You know, the one that I enjoy doing every year is Vid Summit. It's a conference that's in Dallas, Texas, hosted by Daryl Eves. So I've been an MC for the past 3 years, and so I get to work the stage, the main stage, and I've met different content creators. Like, yes, I've met Mr. Beast. Yes, I've met John Yushai. I've met all of the favorite content creators. And then, sometimes I'm tasked to create behind the scenes content. So doing that, and I've done a couple of fun things where we would give prizes to attendees. Like if they were the first one there, we would give away like a PS5. So those are like those are like fun things where you get
Yeah.
to be a part of the creator community. And so it's like a 3-day collaboration in that sense. But yeah, you get your steps in for sure.
And this question, hey Jose, Econ rocks. Yes, yes, Econ rocks. So this is a lead way to our next
Hmm.
segment, which is about presentations, right? So
Yep.
with Ecamm, you can present your media kit just like we did here. So,
Hmm.
for example, I'm going to go to this media kit and I'm going to hide my camera. I'm going to go behind the scenes so you can see what I have, right? So in here, I have all of my scenes, which is how you're going to be organizing your presentation. In here, I have my presentations in a folder, so I can easily just collapse them when I need to. Then I open them to reveal them, and then that's how it would be. If you have a client and you're presenting your media kit to them, this makes it so powerful because you can include video in there and then you can have the video saved for yourself. You can transcribe it to do other things, but more on that later. So here in this media kit, here's what you could do. So right here, this is a picture. However, if I wanted to include a camera, I can just bring it on and I can put the camera right here. Right? And I can adjust it like this. And then there it is. And I can start presenting my media kit, right? And talking to them. And then that camera can shift where if you want the camera to shift, then what you will have to do is just leave bring them as PNGs. So then that way you can place the camera in different parts of your media kit. Right. And then you can present them like that. Or you can just be over here like Stephanie was. And then you can present your media kit this way. Right. So
Yeah.
that is what makes it so incredible to do your presentations with Ecamm, because not only will they be seeing you in action, but they will also be seeing your, your credits, your receipts, your media kit, and hear you speaking about this. This is why earlier I was mentioning how incredible it was for you to marinate on, your what you are your content, right? The content that you are researching for your media kit. That is why it's so important to do it, because when you are delivering your presentation in your media kit and using your media kit, every page is going to be intentional. Every page already has a fresh memory of when that happened. Perhaps that could be the best, like a podcast episode that you had that was transformative for you, that took you where you are right now, right? Perhaps it could be you were a guest on a podcast and that was so good, or you had a guest in, or whatever it was, right? Your best guest in your presentation, you can have that energy when you're presenting it. So with Ecamm, you can do all of this, right? You can present
Yeah.
your media kit, but then you can also present in Zoom. You can present what else, Stephanie? I'm over here. Like
Yeah.
you can
What I
present
was
in
going
so
to
many
say.
places.
Yeah. I mean, oftentimes, like your media kit is an invitation to try out for something. And so I've been on things like once they've seen my media kit, then they wanted to hop on Zoom with me. So when they hop on Zoom with me, y'all, that's the game changer right there. Because what I'll do is I'll do a lower third, I'll use their brand colors, I'll figure out what they're doing for the campaign. And now all of a sudden it doesn't look like a regular Zoom, right? They're like, oh, she's different. She sounds different. She has lighting, she has that. And so even just having that extra camera where it shows, and this is my content studio, that's where they start to see, like, oh, you're not just some random content creator. Like, you do this for a living, you're professional, and all of that other stuff. And so when you have different scenes that shows, this is my process, here's an example of the type of content that I could create. This is like literally, if someone said, Stephanie, we're looking for a live shopping host. And I say, oh, well, these are the different scenes that I create in Ecamm, like what Anna just showed. You'd be like, whoa, you could do that. And they, at that point, they're really like, take my money. Take my
Right,
money.
right,
Where do I
right.
sign?
Exactly.
Here's my credit card.
And they also oftentimes they say, can you create one of those for me? Right? Can you create one of those for me? Can you do a presentation like that for my team? Right? So
And I'll
other
build it
things.
in like in real time.
Yes,
And they freak
exactly.
out.
Right. Exactly. So it's definitely a great idea. You have Ecamm. If you're an Ecamm user, utilize Ecamm in all this way. Ecamm, you can record your pitch inside of Ecamm, right? You can record your pitch showing your media kit, or you can record your pitch showing videos. So for example, video testimonials. So you can say something like, okay, and here is the video testimonial. And then you're on screen, but then you play the video and you're right there. So it will be almost like a reaction video, but they will be the ones reacting, not you, right? You will be there. So it is a great tool for you, not only for live streaming, pre-recording, creating your courses and presentations, but also for pitching yourself. That is just so great, Stephanie.
I love it. Good, good, good. We have other questions, comments on
Okay,
that end?
let's see what we have. Okay, so here we go. So that's
Oh,
for you,
yeah.
Stephanie.
Yeah. I love
Thanks
that.
for being here, Tom.
You're the best, Tom. I know Tom was definitely asking about the audio podcast things. Things that were coming to mind, Tom, would be I would want to know how your content studio looks like. I want to know if you're recording in person or if you're doing it virtually. I'd be curious to know, what does your waiting room setup look like? What is your editing process? I would also want to hear like sound bites of your intros, how you do the commercial spots. Even it's just like little things that kind of stand out for how you're creating content with your podcast for sure.
Oh my gosh, I love building my media kit directly in Ecamm because when I get a call with a team, they can see my case studies right in Zoom.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
I
I love
mean,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I have my stuff in Canva, but I could always bring it in with an NDI screen capture. But I also like the idea of having it within Ecamm and they're just taking it with me.
Yeah, exactly. Like my presentation right here, I created it all inside of Ecamm because I didn't want to be, exporting, importing, going back and forth with Canva, and with Ecamm, it makes it so easy to just, like right here. So if there's a, for example, sometimes if there's a typo, you can fix it right here instead of having to go back to fix it,
Hmm.
right? You can just do it right in here for this. So that's why it's, for me, it's just really good to do that inside of Ecamm. So we have videos are a great way to show who you are. Words and pictures can only go so far. Amen to that.
Very true.
Amen to that. Hello, Steven. I've been
I
watching
just
for a
remember, yeah, hit that like button, you
while.
guys. Come on, let's go. There's like 8.
Wait, for real? They're 8? No, okay.
There's 8
But you
thumbs up. I'm like, there's got to be
can.
more than that. Come on.
All right, Stephanie, there you go. All right.
Oh, got it. Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we should also cover is, should you DIY your media kits or should you leverage a template? And what I will say is if you try to go over to Canva and download their typical like media kit that they have, it's usually just one liner, here's your name, your audience number, and all that stuff, but it doesn't show you samples of your work. So I feel like when Canva first created those templates, that's like circa 2000.
Yeah.
These days, if you're on LinkedIn, you're going to see content creators sharing their updated media kits and like the competition is out there. That's why I redid mine completely. Mine used to just be a PDF and it would have like, here's my bio, here are the places that I spoke of, but it didn't show actual samples of my work. And once I started doing that, that's when people were like, oh, now I know what you're capable of. I think when you have it all organized, not having to have people hunt down for what it is that you do, then it makes it a whole heck of a lot easier to win those deals.
Yeah, and that's what it is, right? With the media kit, you just make it skimmable. It's like, okay, here, right? And
Like, what
then,
is this? What is that? What is this?
exactly.
Yeah.
And then reach out, right? And then they reach out, hey, do you want to, can we schedule a 30-minute calls? Those are the calls that I like schedule a 30-minute call after they see your media kit. It's like almost like a callback from school, right? When you're in a play and you get a call back. Yeah,
Yep.
it's almost like that. But yes, I want to see if for example, if we do a follow up, and by the way, before I forget, for those of you who said, and even for those of you who are going to be creating your media kits now, if you would like to have your media kit, not critique, but reviewed, right? It's just like, okay, there's something that you should include here or there. Feel free to send it to Ecamm. The link is going to be in the comments and they will go and review it for you because Ecamm gets a lot of media kits. So Ecamm knows a thing or two about media kits and what should be in there, right? So whether it is the 30% of you or once you create your media kit, you go ahead and send it and you get feedback from Ecamm, directly from Ecamm. I believe it will probably be Caleb. Caleb doing. But yes, that is there for you, Stephanie.
Yeah, absolutely. Have fun. Have fun in creating your media kit, and again, Canva's media kits, I don't like them. That's why I built the one out for you guys to give you a place to really showcase what it is that you do. If you are looking for another template that you want to purchase on your own, I do like looking at Creative Market. CreativeMarket.com is a really good place to see what other templates are out there because it's shifting. Just like how you could tell if a website was built in 2000, same thing with media kits these days,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you're going to want to upgrade it, refresh it, sometimes add some color to it. Again, the more that you could stand out from the competition, the better.
For sure. And one of the things that are standing out from the competition also is, for example, in your media kit, what is really cool, like, and a lot of people usually ask, how do you, and I believe some of you asked it here, how do you embed or how do you add links to your media kit? In Canva, Stephanie, you do it in Canva. So in Canva is is go ahead and explain the Canva side, and I will explain something
Yeah,
else.
so on Canva here, let me just pop back
Okay, I'll
over
put you in
here.
solo.
Let me see if thanks, love. Um, let me change the screen over here. You're gonna be, there you are. Okay, so if I wanted to add this link right here, this is basically a text box, but then from here you just right click add a link and then you're gonna add that in there. So adding your links is relatively going to be easy and it's just gonna pop them over there
Yep.
and you could track those links too.
Exactly. That's what I love, right? The track of a
Yeah,
links. 'Cause you know if they clicked it,
yeah. Yeah,
right?
I get really curious about like where people are finding me, if they've, who did I reached out to? Did they open my email? Did they forward my email? Someone was asking this. I use MailTrack, Maltrack. It's free, but it's really cool to see how many times someone has opened your email and if they forwarded it or not.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Because it shows you in that sense if the content was being the content is good, right? Like it's working for that specific audience, right? And then it's like,
Yeah.
ooh, they're forwarding it. They're doing this, right? So
Yeah.
another way for me that I use, I use this product called this app called Hey, like Hey, and then Zine, Zine, and in there you can embed clickable videos. You can add links to it. It just looks really good, and then the presentation looks really really good as well. I will add, if once you join, if you are joining and you're not in the Ecamm live community Facebook group, I will share a link there of one of my media kits that I include a live video in there that they can play it right in there. But in the photography pro tips download that I provided you with, in there also this app called Craft. There you can easily add links to it, exactly how Stephanie did it. So you just do add, and then you add the link. So you highlight and click, which is very similar to how we do it in all different apps when we are creating links. So links work really nicely, but also when you have a link and then the link displays a preview, it's even better because they know where they're clicking and they're not wondering, right? Like, okay, is this safe? Is this not? And then you're not worried the link is gonna work or not because you already see the video in there. Yes. Okay, so let's see what the comments have. Stephanie, would you like to cover anything else about the links and
Well, let me double check here. No, I think we covered up pretty much everything as far as like embedding video links in your media kit, tracking them as well. I'm curious to hear what other questions you guys have about your media kits. Um, yeah, I update mine pretty frequently. Well, okay, so I will say this. When there's a specific brand that I am pitching, I will do my research as far as what kind of content have they created before. And I would say 8 out of 10, they're not doing any live streaming. And so I will spend some time in my pitch of like, and we could have a branded live stream, right? It could look like this. I could create different scenes and all of that other stuff. So it gets really interesting as far as what it is that you can do. But I feel like the more you guys give us examples of what industry you're in, we could give you better advice. Because I'm coming from a content creator
yeah,
perspective, right? As a
yeah,
live streamer, I have a different kit completely if I'm speaking on stages, right? That one's going to show me like being an MC, facilitating a workshop, showing different testimonials on that end. So depending on what it is that you're interested in, just let us know in the comments and we'll go from there.
yeah. And remember right here, as you can read when you join the Ecamm Live community, just make sure that when you're posting your media kits, if you're posting it in the open, otherwise you also have the opportunity to send it privately to Ecamm. The link was in the comments, and you can post it, but just make sure that you add a description so when the moderators see it, they know what it is. Right? And they don't remove it for you because we want to see it. We want to see yours, and we can go over them and all of that with you and write comments about it if you post it in the Ecamm Live community. So yes,
Mhm.
and then remember to please, if you're watching, and Stephanie, hello, hi. If you're watching, if you're watching and you didn't register for for the workshop. Register so you can get Stephanie's media kit template, and also so you can get mine. And I just did Brandy mentioning that the download and craft, it says it has been removed, but there has been a uppercase lowercase situation going on there, but we should have had it taken care of. Brandy, don't worry about it. I will reach out and send it to you directly, but that should be fixed now. That should be fixed. There was a new email sent this morning with a correct link. So make sure that you are in that link that says oops, right? And then that link should work. Okay. So let's see the comment from Alfredo Silva.
Oh gosh. No, media kits could be different sizes. So as you saw, Anna's was like a one page, like 8.5 by 12, probably, or 8.5 by 11 was
Yeah,
yours.
so
Mine was a
mine is
website.
8.5 by 11. So like I actually have the two. So here, this one is the 8.5 by 11. And then I also have this one that is 19 by 9. Right? So it's just
Yeah.
like regular size. So
I think it really
guess
depends like how much space you want to have for the assets, right? So for me, an 8.5 by 11 doesn't give me much justice because a lot of my content is going to be vertical videos, vertical short form
right.
videos.
Yeah.
But if you give me a 16 by 9, I could at least put 4 videos on one slide. So again, depending on how you want it to look like and what you're showcasing.
Yeah. Yeah, that is definitely a good way to look at it. And it's all strategic. I know you all were like, okay, so you're analytic. You have to think about this strategically because this is how you're going to make money, right? You are building this to make money. So you're spending all of this time, and whether you are DIYing your visuals or you are hiring a photographer, you need to plan it, right? To know what you're going to be including there and be strategic about it. So do I need an 8.5 by 11 or do I need a 16 by 9? Because that will give you start having like when your creative mind starts going, then you will see that media kit populated, right? But if you
Yeah.
don't have the right format, then you're gonna be like, okay, so where is this photo gonna go, and where's my accessory photo gonna go, and then it's going to become a bigger thing that it is, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would even also say for some of you that were asking, should it only be on my should it be on my website? The answer is yes. I would also put it on your LinkedIn. There's a lot of talent agencies that are looking for content creators on LinkedIn, or if you have like a link in bio tool, you could also pop it in there too.
Yes, Stephanie, that is so great that you mentioned that because people, honestly, especially us here who are creating this media kit, and you're going to spend all that time, that is going to be a one-stop shop website, right? A mini website for your prospect. If you put the link in on LinkedIn and they click that link, and then they can see real quick what's up and what you do, who you are, what you do it for, what people are saying about you, then they will go to your website if they need more, or even better, contact you because your contact information is right there, right? So, and the coolest thing about it is that the clients that you want, potentially, at least for me, they are on LinkedIn. And then you're going to keep them there, or you're going to keep them on LinkedIn. You're going to keep them on your profile, and everything's going to be cohesive when you are including your media kit links. So yes, Stephanie, don't get me talking about LinkedIn. I love it. I can
I
sit
love
here.
LinkedIn. I mean, for those of you that are tuning in, LinkedIn has been like the best place for me to win brand deals. What happens is that if I see an ad for a product that I love on Instagram, I'll go to the meta ads library to see if they're running ads. Because if they're running ads, that means what? That means they have budget. So then I go over LinkedIn, and that's where I'm going to find the marketing person, or actually their title is going to be brand partnerships. Telling you, I have that list. I'm
I
like, this is
mean,
the brand partnership person in charge of boom, 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 boom,
yes.
boom, boom. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and that's what
Yeah.
it is. Like on LinkedIn, people are trying to like sleep on LinkedIn. Don't or do, right? Take the
Yeah.
visuals or don't. Wait to take your headshots or don't. So whichever one it is, you're making a choice, and the choice is: do you want to move forward and get brand deals, or do you want to stay wondering what you're losing, right?
Yeah.
Where you're not getting. So yes, LinkedIn. So there was another comment here from our friend Tim Johnson.
What was the biggest trial you faced when starting out your live pitch slash collab careers? Anna, what was yours?
Um, that's a great question, Tim Johnson. Thank you for thinking about this 10 minutes before we're done. Wow. Geez, I would say maybe confidence. Maybe I didn't like that would be the biggest trial for me, trying to be like, okay, they reached out to me. They're this huge company and they want me to do this. Why? Like that would be like that was my first thing, even though I know that I could do all of the things, but then I will doubt their intention, honestly. Like I will doubt their intention. I'm like, what? Do they want it for free? Did you want it? So I will doubt all those things for real, because when when a brand reaches out to you and, oh, I saw you and I want you to do this and that, typically they go for exposure. I'm like, no, I'm not here to expose. Right, I'm here to
Oh
make
yeah.
money, and I can expose making money at the same time, right? So that's what I guess that was a trial that now I'm more seasoned at, and I can confidently reach back and ask the right questions because I put in the reps on how to answer to those trials, right? So I hope that
Very
answered
true.
it, but Stephanie, you know.
Yeah, I think early on as a creator, when brands want to reach out to you based off of your media kits for collabs, I think the biggest trial for anyone just starting out is how much should I charge, right? So how much should I charge for this? And a lot of people will do it hourly. I'm the one that will say like I don't charge hourly. I give you things based off of results, right? And here are the results. This is the community that I'm building. This is my email list and all that other stuff. I think the other piece that you should be mindful of, one of my favorite websites is it's called FU Pay Me. It's fypm.vip. So Paul, it's
Okay.
fypm.vip. The reason why you're going to love this website is because all the content creators went over there and they're spilling the tea on what it's like to work with this brand, that brand, that brand, and that brand. They're going to say this person paid their invoice on time. This
Oh.
person was very clear with their deliverables and what it is that they wanted to do. And so you're going to have insider knowledge as far as like what the average cost is that they're paying for content from creators. So it's F you pay me.
That is an interesting name, but hey, it catches attention, right? So maybe that was their goal.
Yeah, I think it really started with the founder because she was just so sick and tired of seeing creators get screwed over. Yeah.
Yeah. James, thank you so much for being here. So happy to hear that. So happy to hear that and implementing it even better.
There
Okay.
you go.
Okay. Yes, Robert. We see you there a lot though. Like you're active on LinkedIn as
Oh,
well.
that's right.
Right?
Oh,
Right. You're
that's right.
active. Hello, Valerie. Okay. So Caleb has another hack for LinkedIn, I believe. Look at LinkedIn job posting for brand partnerships. It means they are about to launch, invest in paid partnerships again. Oof.
Hey. Yep.
Honestly, that yes. Yeah. See all these nice tricks that we have. So
Or you know what? Here's another one for you. See if, so I do this all the time because I love SaaS tools. Sometimes the SaaS tools don't have anyone that's creating content for them. And so then you show them like, hey, I'm gonna show how to do like a tutorial on how to get started with fill in the blank. And then obviously they're gonna have some Google alerts on that.
there
Put
we
that out
go.
there. Yeah.
Okay, you heard it here at the Media Kid Blueprint. Okay, you have to be able to do it all. All the you might be able to
Not
do
be
all
able.
of the not be able to do all the things. What process do you use to gain clarity on what to offer and how to explain it? Great question, Alfredo. Stephanie, you go first.
I think when I'm offering something to a client, I first ask them a lot of questions. So I'll say, okay, so tell me about this campaign that you have. Who are you targeting? What are you trying to accomplish? What kind of content do you already have in the queue? Because most brands will have what's called like a go-to market strategy. So they may have like influencers that are doing vertical videos, but no one that's doing live streaming. They may have this and they might not have that. And so that's your opportunity to fill in the gaps based on what you like to do, right? If someone said to me, hey, Stephanie, we're looking for a live shopping host. I'm like, cool, I'm totally down for that. If they're like, hey, Stephanie, we're looking for someone for a dating show, I'm like, not interested. Right. So getting clarity on what it is that you like to do. Also, what are the needs from the client? Because once you know what the gap is for the client, once you have a need, then you could link it to your services and your offering, and they'll realize only Alfredo knows how to do that. And he has his receipts on how he would do that.
Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Yeah. For me, how to explain it in clarity, it was all about, as the team is saying here, just you gotta know your worth, right? You gotta know, you gotta believe in your product. You have to believe in, you have to value yourself, value your time, value your product. And then from there, you will be able to confidently, and let me tell you, it doesn't get easier. You just change the pitches a little bit, but it's still, it gets better, right? It gets better, and you get better at it the more you do it, right? You would say,
Yeah.
okay, so, ooh, that was good. Okay. And now, because we are, for example, pitching or doing something, either pitching or presenting in Zoom with Ecamm, that transcript is live, right? So I typically record with my client's permission, and then I analyze that call, and I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
okay, what? Okay, this is where, for example, I dropped, or this is where the conversation went a little bit off because either they didn't have this information or I didn't have it. This is what I'm gonna do next time when, for any client, because if, for example, I didn't have this call, there wasn't clarity on this specific part, then now there will be clarity for all other clients. So that is a really good tip for you on how, like, if when you use Ecamm, but also you can do it over the phone because you can also record it if the client
Yeah.
is okay with it.
I would also even say, like, if a brand is unclear on what it is that they want, don't stress about it. Because if they're unclear, their communication style is going to be unclear, the campaign is going to be unclear, and you know who else is going to be unclear? Accounting. Because they're like, what are we paying them
Yeah,
for?
yeah,
So I'd
yeah.
rather have a brand that knows straight up what it is exactly that they're asking for and going about it that way. I wouldn't try to hard sell anyone
Yeah,
that's just unclear on what it is that they want. Yeah.
exactly.
Save you the
Right.
headache.
Yeah. And it is a headache.
Yeah. We call it the pita tax. It's the pain in the, yeah.
It isn't like I just got a message and I'm like, oh my gosh, I did the stream stop, but it didn't. Okay. So yes,
Okay.
exactly. It's what it is. You will know what right what's happened. So let's see. I think we're almost here with all the questions, but I think I saw comments that okay, yes, exactly. Right? It doesn't.
It doesn't. But there are some things that you could do that's very strategic, So like sometimes if I'm invited to speak at something, I'll ask, can I have a testimonial from you on my LinkedIn? Can I get the registration list?
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
sometimes you may just have to ask because people might not know what they could actually offer you that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing, and that's one thing that I don't know if it happens on other, like, for example, when they reach out to me for photography and for exposure, I'm like,
You're like, you don't need that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly. So I'm like, I'm okay, but I do get involved with a lot of nonprofit organizations because my core business and my core beliefs are to support these organizations for personal reasons. So I do get involved with a lot of nonprofit organizations. So whenever a nonprofit reaches out to me, if their values, the core values matches mine and I have the
Yeah.
time, I will do it. And then I will ask for those things, right? Like, can I get a testimonial? Can I get this? Can I get that? And they happily do it, right? So it's a nice collaboration like that, like you just mentioned strategically. But when someone just reaches out, hey, I have this coming up and I have this and I'm well known and this and that. And I'm like, if you are well known and have all these things, you can afford to pay
You
a
should be able to pay your
professional
bills.
photographer.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
should be
yeah. Oh my
able
gosh,
to.
that's a whole nother 2-hour workshop there.
For real, right? For real. It's just not. Okay, so Gina, you are so welcome. And then Alfredo said, love it. Oh,
Yeah,
Tim.
honestly,
Okay,
like
so
if 75% of you don't have a media kit, guess who's winning the brand deals? It's the 25% of us that are.
yeah. Yeah. And we're proud of sharing that. So we have 2 more questions left before we say goodbye for today. Thank you so much, everyone. This hopefully you got inspired to share your visuals with confidence and intention, because that is what's gonna push you forward. That Media Kit is gonna come with energy. It's gonna come with an oomph, right? And review the tips about photography. They might not have made sense when you were listening to me going through it, but when you watch the replay, you'll be like, okay, and you can write it down and see, oh, okay, this is it. Because there were a lot of things that I threw at you about how to get ready for it, that once you're getting ready for it, right, you will see, right? So you get that list, you start making it. Plus you're gonna get our notes if you signed up for the workshop, and then in there also you will have that list. But let's see. Okay, we didn't answer this, or did we?
No, we
We
didn't.
have that one question.
No.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
Stephanie, we have 2 more questions, and then yes.
Okay. So what I will, okay, here's like your basic answer. Your basic answer is, as soon as I started creating content about my favorite brand, a brand partner would find me and they would reach out. But because you're here and because you're live, Mr. Tim Johnson, I'm gonna tell you the secret sauce. The secret sauce is you're going to create content. You're going to go live. You're going to do an unboxing video. You're going to have all this engagement from the Ecamm fam and all that other jazz. Then you're going to invest $1 a day to put your video in front of the brand partner, right? So every time they open up, Meta, LinkedIn, whatever, they're going to keep seeing you pop up and they're going to keep seeing your video get engagement. I'm like, dang, I really need to work with that guy because look at all this engagement that he got. But at that point, they're like, it would be a no-brainer for me to reach out to this person because look at how much traffic, look how many conversations they're having about my product just because Anna and Stephanie were talking about it.
That's it.
So
that's it. I could
that's
not
my
have
chef's
said it
kiss
better.
there.
Yes. And it's those videos, and then they contact you because they see either that engagement. And let me share something with you. And I believe, Stephanie, you touched on that a little bit earlier, that it's not the amount of likes, it's the engagement that you get. Right? Like you get engagement and you get people talking, because likes, we all know it, right? You can just click like, you can just double tap and move on. But to comment, you have to stop, you have to click, you have to write, and then you have to send. There are tons of steps to that engagement. So that is a commitment right there. That is a nice stat for the partnerships, right? The partners who are looking for people, because they're like, okay, they get engagement on their posts. So yes, Stephanie was right. Okay. Fibbler Creative. Hi. Okay. Stephanie, that's for you.
Do you offer one-on-one consultations for clients? For example, if someone wanted coaching for content creation, how would you promote that kind of service? Yeah, absolutely. I think Mr. Paul Duncan, Mr. Moderator over there, dropped our links. So feel free to reach out to us. Yeah.
Yes. You're so welcome, Mel. And then FYPM.
Yeah, FYPM, they were over at VidCon. They did a really great job. Yep.
So tomorrow morning, you will get some poll questions in your email. Completing the poll helps us do great workshops like this one. So make sure you check out that email. And also the links are going to be in there as well. So make sure you open that email. And then Elaine, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Yay. And then here we go. You can follow me on LinkedIn. As you all heard, I am active on LinkedIn. I would love to connect with all of you on LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn link. And
oh, wait. Don't just follow her. Write her a LinkedIn review. Say, I have learned so much from Anna Hill. I learned how to do this. Go in there. Write her a LinkedIn recommendation, you guys.
Oh, Stephanie.
Closed mouths don't get fed. So feed us.
Closed mouths don't get fed. Okay, let's take it. And then there's Stephanie. It's Linktree.
Yeah. All the things, friends.
Oh, G Everhart, thank you so much. I'm glad you caught it. But guess what? This is the replay is going to be available, so you are able to go through the what you missed. Andy Sabs. Loved your presentation, nerds.
Nerds. We are nerds, aren't we? We're very high-paid nerds.
For real. And like, if you think about it, nerds are really high paid, right? Like when I was
They are.
when I
We
was
have
a
our
tech,
specialty.
right? When I was a network engineer, listen, that was nice. That was nice. Those were nice greens right there.
Let's
So
go. Let's
hello,
go.
Andy from, and then should we include a link to Cast Magic page with this workshop, Stephanie?
I think they would absolutely love it. Like I'm just ever since we introduced Cast Magic for the last leap into live workshop or the summit, I thought it was so cool. If you guys don't even know what Cast Magic is, it's going to give you the transcript, but you could hop around to different sections. It has AI built to it, so you could have a conversation. You could say like, "What was that one thing that Anna said about wardrobe?" And then it'll boom, it'll tell you
Yes.
exactly what she said.
And you can say, you can ask, you can type in there. They have like a new chat that is really cool. And which Stephanie just mentioned, you can say, can you bulletize what Anna said about wardrobe or about lighting or about whatever? And you can also ask about Stephanie, right? What did Stephanie say about UCG content, right?
I would say,
it's
help me
magical.
write a LinkedIn recommendation for Anna based on this. And then, and then you just copy paste it.
Oh, snap. Okay, that's true. Wait, does Cast Magic have a trial? Like a free trial?
I believe it does have a trial. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Brandy, I'm a shiny nerd.
I'm a
Let's
shiny
go.
nerd. I feel like that needs to be like a creator camp button. I'm a shiny nerd.
Incredible session, ladies. Thank you for doing this, Valerie. Hard. Thank you so much. And yes, nerds are the best. I had a t-shirt that said, I love nerds for such a long time. And I would wear it for my, I would wear it in my tech job. And the job was like full of techs, right? Full of them. So it's like, who do you love? And I'm like, I don't know.
You're like,
I was
form a line,
all
form a
of-
line.
Exactly. I was like, all of them. So Brandy, oh, you are so welcome.
You're the best, Bandy.
Hey, Spotjet, you are so welcome. And then all sessions from our upcoming Leap event we'll have. And yes, Stephanie.
Let's
before-
go. See,
Yeah.
that's the game changer right there.
Okay. And then Caleb pulled the plug. He's like, they're like, sold. We will send everyone a Cast Magic link in the email tomorrow with LinkedIn recommendation pre-written. Let's go.
Let's go.
Only on the media kit. And I mean, for real. And then you can take those testimonials and add into your media kit. This is just right. I mean,
Yep.
that is just great. And then we have, hey, Robert. Oh, Stephanie, can you real quick before we close talk about Leap coming up? Because Leap is coming up next week.
Is it really next week?
Yeah, I think it's next week, isn't
Oh my
it?
goodness.
Wait,
It
is it next week? Okay.
Yes. So look, listen, if you are on your video content creation journey and you want to learn more about what you can do to stand out from that sea of sameness, we have a bunch of sessions to help you get to where it is that you want to be. So whether you're just starting or you're in the intermediate or advanced stage, we have different talks from some of the best content creators within the Ecamm fam. So right now, registration is free. So hop in there, take advantage of it. We all know that everyone craves a sense of belongingness. You're going to have one of the best communities online to help you get to where it is that you want to be. So to head on over there, I believe Mr. Moderator will drop the link in the comments for you. That way you could head over into Leap. But yeah, it's one of my favorite things. Leap is is jam-packed. 3 days, y'all. 3
It
days.
is. And it's free, right? It is free. And for all of you who are here, here is an opportunity for you to win a free pass, not the free to join the conference because the workshop, because it's free, right? The summit. But there is a digital access pass that allows you to have view all past leaps. And they have been, what, four leaps, Stephanie?
I believe so. Yeah,
Right?
my good. It's so
Right?
shocking to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
About 4 leaps.
I think in 1 year we did 2, but yeah.
So you will be able to learn about live streaming, about podcasting, about the tools that you need to support all of these, all of the above. And then this one is going to be about video, all things video. So you will get that pass. You will get the replays. So although the conference is free, the replays are not. But with this digital access pass, you will get the replays, right? So how do you win it? You go to ecammnetwork.com news on the YouTube channel, Ecamm Live YouTube channel on Monday. So the next Monday will be the last Monday that you will have a chance to win a leap. Okay, Stephanie? So we will go, it's at 7 p.m. Eastern and it's live. It is a great time. We do trivia and you can win Ecamm merch as well. And I co-host the weekly live show. So we will see you there. All right. And you'll have a chance to win a leap pass. Right. All access.
That's going to be great.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is going to be great.
Goodness.
We have 4 leaps. 5. Caleb said 5.
Yeah, that's why I was like, there was one year where we did 2.
So yeah, okay, so here we go. Thank you, Caleb. Immediate access to over 400 hours of video training. And don't let that overwhelm you, because once you start watching them, you're just gonna be hooked. It's gonna be like the best investment. Instead of sitting down watching a Netflix series for like an entire day, you watch this series, the entire one, for example, and you're going to get so much done, and it's going to help you with your media kit creation as well, because you're going to learn about creating videos that are engaging. You're going to learn about podcasting, all of that good stuff. Right, Stephanie?
Yeah, there's just so much. I even love the community building aspect that people talk about, packages, pricing, production, all the things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Like, oh wow, 5. So yeah, we're
look at us.
impressed. We're all here impressed. Like, yeah, 5. So, fam, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for spending this time with us, but for you. Right? You invested this time for you to elevate your brand, to work on your brand, to make things better, to make you feel better, because you're doing something for your brand. Right? So thank you so much. We cannot wait to see if you post any media kits in the community, or if you share them with the Ecamm team and you would like some feedback. We cannot wait to see you in action, Stephanie.
Yeah, you guys are absolutely amazing. We've given you as much as we possibly can in this workshop. Remember to fill out the survey, I believe, that we have, and get your feedback over there. Yeah, we did it, girl. Yay!
We did. I know, right? we did it. And we okay. So here we go. Joe, I believe they're gonna be sharing that information with you. But if you're talking about Leap, you just register. There will be a link in the comment. But if you want to think about, Ecamm Network News. So I think you're talking about registering for Leap. Okay. Yeah. Nice, Stephanie. So we did this. And it was great. Woo! Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Paul, for moderating. Thank you, fam, for being here. And we hope to see you in the community. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.
Bye, friends. See you later.
There we go, fam. Thank you so much.
Da-da-da.